Welcome back to another daily lore. We're going to see this next one. I don't always say this, but if you want to watch the original video, I link the person's channel in the description. I don't like the video because I don't know how to, so I link the channel in the description. And if you want to find this exact one, you just have to go to the oldest and then scroll down until you find the one you want. Next one is this one.
My boyfriend's family mocked my cheap engagement ring at dinner, so I excused myself. When I came back, I placed my Olympic gold medal on the table and said, I thought we were showing off our most valuable possessions. Growing up in a small
Savage. Oh shit, man. That's something else though. uh I mean, I guess.
rural town, I learned the value of hard work from an early age. My parents were both teachers who instilled in me the belief that dedication and perseverance could overcome any obstacle. When I showed natural talent in swimming at age 8, they sacrificed everything to nurture that gift, driving me to practices before dawn, working extra jobs to cover competition fees, and
Go back in a few minutes.
I thought we believed that dedication and perseverance could overcome any obstacle.
Dedication and perseverance. Yes and no. Some people might have. Actually, yeah. Actually, no, hold up. I do agree, but a lot of people don't have both. Some people have dedication without perseverance, and other people have perseverance without dedication.
When I showed natural talent in swimming at age 8, they sacrificed everything to nurture that.
I do agree with that, though. I do agree with that kind of parenting. Um, to help them develop their natural ability to whatever they're doing. In this case, their ability is swimming, and the parents kept on that. They sacrificed everything in order for her to be better at swimming. And I'm assuming she wins a championship or something. That's probably what the trophy is in the beginning. Me speculating, probably is true. But the idea of them sacrificing all this so she can actually win something in the future is pretty good. The only problem with this is if your kid, even if you sacrifice everything, if your kid doesn't take advantage of what you're sacrificing, that's the problem, which is the main problem most parents find out later. Obviously, it's hindsight. Obviously, you find out in the future. You would know if it paid off or not.
Gift, driving me to practices before dawn, working extra jobs to cover competition fees, and rearranging their entire lives around my training schedule. By 16, I was competing nationally. By 18, I qualified for the Olympic team. At 22, I stood on the podium with a gold medal around my neck, representing my country in the 200 meters freestyle. It was the culmination of thousands of early mornings, countless sacrifices, and unwavering determination. After that victory, I had a choice to make: pursue another Olympic cycle or move on with my life.
Oh, I see. So basically, she got the Olympic trophy, the gold medal, is then she just retired. Cause I mean, you don't know if you get any monetary value of actually swimming. You might, I think you do, but probably not that. It's probably not that good, most likely. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on the swimming sport of swimming. I don't know. I don't know the athlete. I'm not sure about that. I don't know how much they get paid. I know they get a medal, but I just don't know how much they get paid. Um, they might get paid quite a bit. I'm not sure. I don't. Probably they don't get them paid that much. But in her opinion, in her mind, she doesn't really care about the money. She does want more and more trophies. She wants to do something else with her life that's meaningful to her. It's probably, or to them. That's probably what she's probably thinking.
I chose the latter, wanting to experience all the things I'd postponed for my athletic career. I retired quietly, enrolled in university, and tried to build a normal life outside the spotlight. I kept my achievement private, not out of shame, but because I wanted people to know me for who I was now, not what I had accomplished in the pool. My medals stayed locked in a safe deposit box, a cherished memory but not my defining characteristic. That's how I met Jason, in a literature class where he knew me only as Emma, the psychology major with a passion for Austen novels, not Emma the Olympic champion. Our relationship blossomed naturally, built on shared interests and genuine connection rather than my athletic reputation. When he proposed last month with a simple, elegant ring that perfectly matched my understated style, I couldn't have been happier. The modest diamond wasn't flashy, but it represented
I mean, not everyone's flashy. I mean, I don't, I don't understand. What's the point of a flashy ring? So you could show it off. What's the point of showing it off? It doesn't prove that the person loves you more or not. It that proves nothing. Honestly, it's a extrinsic value that you're placing money is love. More money you spend, the more the person actually loves you, which is a stupid way of thinking.
Jason's thoughtfulness. He had chosen something I would actually wear and love, not something to impress others. We'd been dating for 2 years, but I still hadn't met his extended family who lived across the country. They flew in specifically for our engagement dinner, and Jason was excited for everyone to finally meet. He told me they were a bit traditional and valued success, but I wasn't prepared for what that really meant. The restaurant Jason selected was upscale but comfortable, with white tablecloths and attentive service without feeling pretentious. I wore a simple navy dress, my hair pulled back, and of course, my engagement ring. Jason's family arrived in a flurry of designer labels and air kisses, his parents Richard and Victoria, his older brother Marcus with his wife Stephanie, and his younger sister Claudia. They were polished, poised, and immediately intimidating. The initial pleasantries seemed to go well enough. They asked about my job as a university counselor, nodding with practiced interest while sharing pointed glances I couldn't quite interpret. Then came the moment that changed everything. Victoria asked to see my engagement ring. I extended my hand, naturally proud of the symbol of our commitment. The silence that followed was deafening. Victoria's smile tightened as she examined the modest diamond. Marcus actually chuckled, quickly disguising it as a cough when Jason shot him a look. Stephanie made a show of comparing it to her own enormous diamond, while Claudia whispered something to her mother.
Disgusting. Disgusting. My God. I have a feeling. I don't want to say this as a full statement, but if all you care about is the ring, don't get married. Just don't. I mean, just don't. I mean, what's the point at this point? If you would just care about the ring and not the person, just don't get married. Like, oh my God. I know it's probably like a terrible take, but my God, that's just so stupid. Obviously, yes, having a diamond in a ring, it's fine. Obviously, it doesn't need to have a diamond. Of course, it could be a solid gold ring or something like that. But having a small, oh shit, I started doing that again. Having a small carat diamond, like a .5 carat diamond or 1 carat diamond, something like that. I'm not sure about diamonds. I'm not 100%. I don't know anything about diamonds. But having something like that is fine. Having like a 5 to 10 carat diamond ring, I feel like that's way too much.
That made them both press their lips together to suppress laughter. It's quaint, Victoria finally said, her tone making it clear this wasn't a compliment. Jason, darling, you know Harrington Jewelers would have given you the family discount? I think it's perfect, Jason replied firmly, squeezing my hand under the table. Richard cleared his throat. Well, not everyone prioritizes the same things in life. Some people prefer simplicity. The conversation moved on, but the damage was done.
What's wrong with simplicity? Simplicity is not something bad. Simplicity is just makes life a lot easier. If you don't want simplicity, that's your prerogative. If you want to do it that way, that's fine. But some people, a lot of people like simplicity. It makes the life a lot easier.
Throughout dinner, they made subtle references to status symbols, Claudia's new luxury car, Marcus's vacation home, the family's longtime friendship with certain celebrities. Each story seemed calculated to highlight the gap between their world and mine. The gap between their world and mine. They weren't just wealthy, they were obsessed with appearances and social standing in a way that made me deeply uncomfortable. My ring became the unspoken joke of the evening. Whenever I reached for my water glass or gestured while speaking, I caught their eyes flickering to my hand, amusement playing at their lips. Jason seemed increasingly tense, trying to redirect conversations and shooting apologetic glances my way. During dessert, Stephanie was describing their recent anniversary gift exchange. Apparently, Marcus had bought her a bracelet that cost more than my annual salary, when Victoria interjected with a pointed look my way. Of course, some people believe material things shouldn't matter in a relationship. How refreshing.
They shouldn't. They really shouldn't. I mean, materialistic things is just that. It's a material. It's material. Your ideal of a relationship is the idea of this relationship is basically the more money they spend shows you how much more they love you. That is the most idiotic way of thinking of love. Like, really? The way somebody loves you is more money they spend on you? That is stupid. Like, seriously, that is stupid. Like, yeah, obviously, people are going to spend money on you normally. But the idea of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on you and that equals love? No, it does not. It just simply doesn't. That's just not how life works. Maybe in the rich class it does, but that's not how normal life works. Most rich people be like that. Normal life seems boring then. No, it's not. It's just simpler. We don't have any things about. We don't have to worry about. Oh man, I wouldn't say everyone, but a lot of people don't have to worry about etiquette. A lot of people don't have to worry about manners. A lot of people love. Like I said, not everyone. A lot of people don't have to worry about impressing certain type of people. That shit is exhausting. You don't have to keep up fucking what is called. You don't have to keep up a good posture. But I'm just naming things I've seen on TV and stuff.
Something inside me snapped. Not in anger, but in clarity. These people were judging our relationship, our future, based on the size of a diamond. They knew nothing about me, about what I'd achieved, about the values that actually mattered in life. Would you excuse me for a moment? I said quietly, placing my napkin to the second ring, and I asked him to bring something from their house safe, immediately. When I returned to the table, the conversation had moved on to the family's historic summer home and its recent feature in an architectural magazine. I sat silently, responding when directly addressed but otherwise disengaged from their status signaling competition. 40 minutes later, my phone buzzed with a text. I excused myself again, meeting my father in the restaurant lobby. He handed me a small velvet pouch, concern evident in his eyes. "Are you sure about this?" he asked. I wasn't, not entirely, but I nodded anyway.
See, the thing is, you keeping that some sort of secret to yourself from your so-called fiance, it's not. It's sometimes people take things the wrong way when you keep a secret. It doesn't matter how small or how big the secret. Well, it doesn't matter how big it is, but it doesn't matter how small the secret is. A secret is still a secret, even if it's a secret that helps the person. It's still a secret. I understand some secrets are meant to be secrets for a reason, and those are special case scenarios. But this type of secret, there's no special reason to keep as a secret. I mean, you're already getting married. They already fell for you because of who you are. Obviously, you should have sat him down a long time ago and told him that you were an athlete, a champion in swimming, and show them the medal. Should have done that a long time ago. Let's see how it ends. Oh, yeah, it basically ends.
Re-entering the dining room, I felt strangely calm. These people thought they knew everything about status and accomplishment, but they knew nothing about real sacrifice or achievement. As I approached our table, Victoria was in the middle of a story about their neighbor, apparently a minor European royal, when she paused mid-sentence, noticing my return. I didn't sit down immediately. Instead, I stood at my place, waiting until all eyes turned to me. Then, without ceremony, I removed the gold medal from its pouch and placed it gently on the table. The overhead lights caught its polished surface, making the engraved Olympic rings unmistakable. "I thought we were showing off our most valuable possessions," I said softly. "This is mine." The silence that followed was absolute. Jason stared at the medal, then at me, his expression shifting from confusion to astonishment. Victoria's mouth opened and closed without producing sound. Marcus leaned forward, squinting at the medal as if suspecting it was fake. "You are that Emma Wilson?" Claudia finally whispered. "The swimmer?" I nodded, meeting each of their eyes in turn. "I am. And this medal represents 12 years of 4 a.m. wake-ups, missed birthdays, physical pain, and unwavering dedication. My parents remortgaged their home to support my dream. This is what I value: commitment, sacrifice, and hard work, not the price tag of a piece of jewelry." I picked up the medal, returning it to its pouch. The ring Jason chose is perfect because he selected it with thought and love, knowing exactly what would make me happy. Its value isn't in carats but in understanding. I reached for Jason's hand. "And that's what I'm marrying into, not a last name or a social position, but a partnership with someone who sees me for who I really am." Jason's expression shifted from shock to something else, pride, perhaps, or deeper understanding. He stood, putting his arm around my waist. "I had no idea," he said quietly. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because it's part of my past, not my identity," I replied. "I wanted you to know me, not my accomplishments." The dynamic at the table had transformed completely.
Obviously, you could have told him though. That's the thing. I still, obviously, yes, you could have told him a long time ago. Still, he already knew you. I mean, he knew you. I mean, why do you think you're getting married? So, I mean, yeah. He didn't know exactly who you were, but he knew enough about you to want to marry you, obviously. Well, you wouldn't marry, I mean, retract that statement. Normally, you wouldn't marry anyone that you don't know anything about.
Victoria stammered an apology about not realizing who I was. Richard suddenly recalled watching my Olympic race, claiming he'd always been a huge supporter of swimming. Stephanie asked if I'd ever considered brand endorsements, while Marcus examined my ring with newfound appreciation, as if it had somehow increased in value. But their approval meant nothing compared to the look in Jason's eyes, not impressed by my medal, but moved by what it represented about my character. As the evening drew to a close, he whispered that he'd never been more certain about us. We left the restaurant hand in hand, my simple ring catching the streetlight. Behind us, I could hear his family still discussing their discovery, already recalibrating how they'd present me to their social circle. But ahead of us stretched a future built on
Yeah, those type of people would always be the same. Then now they have a swimmer in their family line. That's probably what they're going to say. Well, we have a daughter-in-law that is a famous swimmer.
Something far more valuable than their approval, mutual respect, genuine understanding, and the knowledge that true worth isn't measured in diamonds or gold medals, but in the depth of character that remains when all those things are stripped away. The irony wasn't lost on me that the medal I'd kept private for years had finally served its ultimate purpose, not as a trophy to display, but as a reminder that real value comes from within. And sometimes, when people are determined to judge a book by its cover, there's satisfaction in showing them just how wrong their assumptions can be.
I mean, that's true. Once you prove somebody wrong, you're gonna feel very satisfied about about them. They're gonna try to backtrack, or they're gonna either try to backtrack, try to apologize, or try to continue. Because some people they're too prideful to backtrack, and they're too prideful to um, apologize. So they'll continue doing whatever they're doing. But I mean, this story, I actually like this one. It's pretty good, especially the ending. Honestly, I completely agree with that. I completely agree. It's not about the size of the ring or anything about that. It's about the meaning of how you guys fell in love or whatever it is. Let me think. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. My boyfriend family mocked my cheap engagement ring at dinner, so I excused myself when I came. And that was Dead Spies Reddit Story React. Hope you have a nice day, a nice evening, a nice night, and a good morning. Okay, bye.